Views on dropshipping. A lot of people say it's a thing in the past while others are saying it is still thriving. Any opinions on this? It violates the criteria. I have the impression there's a lot of dropshipping threads popping up here the last months or weeks. Is it because we're getting flooded by dropshipping courses ads lately? Just to clarify, is this the E equals entry point of dropshipping that violates? It would tick the other 4 points in my opinion. No, it doesn't. Brands like Gymsharks and Blended Jet are dropshipping model based. It fulfills everything, and if we work in the branding end we are basically creating an asset from zero. It has the entry barrier only people with a good cash flow to invest money in ads, and people who know how to run good Facebook ads will be successful in dropshipping and creating a long-term brand. People say it is a thing of the past because it is not so easy to get success in this field, and when a lot of people taste failure for the first time instead of considering failure as a part of the process they quit. That's when they say dropshipping is dead. It is not, but now not everyone can get into dropshipping and make a living out of it. It is definitely a way to explode your primary source of income. Couldn't think of a worse business model. Do something you have some sort of control over. I guess someone didn't do his own research. Gymshark was private labeling, not dropshipping. It's literally a world of difference. Also it's BS that you need a good cash flow as entry barrier. You aren't considering organic traffic just because with ads it's so much faster. Honestly, anyone could start a dropshipping shop. Entry getting it to be successful with initial capital may be harder, but it surely can happen. If you watch those YouTube gurus, they start dropshipping websites up and running in literally 1 hour. Wow, what a barrier. That said, I don't think it's that important, but you're still selling someone else's merch at the end of the day. Just consider going into the sales business based on commission, and it may be even more profitable. Also, I don't know how it works in the US, etc. But usually the high revenue and really small profits that dropshipping brings is very prohibitive in some countries, because you get put into brackets, taxes, privileges, based on your revenue. I have a friend who sells General Electronics from famous brands dropshipping, and he makes about 1% profit on orders after all things considered. So let's say a €1,000 piece brings him €10 after ads or paying the stuff. On some items he goes up to 5 or 10%, but those are much harder to sell. On about 150k revenue, which is quite a lot, he makes a clean 3k pretty much in 1 year. That isn't even enough to pay his social security contributions. Also not considering that if something gets returned it's a complete nightmare. For €10 of profit you now risk losing 1k if something goes wrong. Needless to say, he's trying to sell the business, and it's comical because he can't even get €500 for a business that's getting 150k in revenue last year. Now, I know he was kinda dumb, and all the geniuses will tell me he could have sold €5 Chinese stuff for €30. But still it would have costed him much more in ads, while what he had, the real deal, was selling on pretty low budget. For anyone interested, his main sales source was drones from a particular brand. The Trend General Product Store is a low barrier entry. Any fool can come, get an AdSP subscription, see what's working and copy or paste it. Any fool can go to AliExpress, pick a random product and put it on a website. I coach beginner entrepreneur like, teaching them the basic. And for the last 8 months, 90% of them were your typical working Joe that heard about dropshipping and wanted to start it to stop 9 to 5. Most of the information is available online for free, and it's way easier now than it was in 2016 or 2017 thanks to the apps, courses and others things. So, I did some dollar with dropshipping in 2018, I have some friends doing tons of dollar in there, and to be honest, I'd even recommend it to get knowledge and experience, but don't expect to get profit quickly from it. If you want to start, the fact that everybody is able to do the same thing as you and everybody is selling the same products using the same process. For some people it will work, for others it won't. And dropshipping is not exclusively a social media ads business. If you have a website with enough targeted traffic and can find suitable products to offer, then you can make money. Why you are interested in this business model? What's the attraction? Barrier to entry is low. It is easy for a competitor to replicate any success you have if you are just going the paid ad route. Margins are generally low unless it's a super difficult product to shift. This dropshipping exists since medieval times, and the real golden age was in the 90s with direct mail marketing law. Let me bring some light and clarity to you how it works in the USA and how those YouTube gurus fake results in order to send their online courses. Practice what you preach in dropshipping. When you are getting a good amount of sales, you can do private labeling. That's what Gymshark and what Blended Jet did, also with every other person thinking it's so easy to get successful with some initial capital of $2,000. Let's say you have that budget, but not everyone is having, but still it has increased the competition. But not everyone is successful because only having cash flow and no knowledge about paid ads and branding will not make you rich. Now let's talk about the profit margins and the YouTube gurus. What they show you is the Shopify dashboard, which shows the revenue generated, not the profits made. Most of them will never show their Facebook ad accounts because either they faked their results or are not even breaking even now. About the profits, how your friend is doing affiliate marketing or some other kind of stuff, but definitely not drop shipping. Selling a famous brand products and making commission is not drop shipping, and that's why the profits will be extremely low. For a guy like me with an in-depth knowledge of ads, I have a profit margin of 40%. I am not selling some other brand merch or products. I can control the price and I can control the number of people I am selling my products. I can private label my product. 40% margin and 60k revenue. Do the math yourself. My dropshipping store is not dynamic and makes stable revenue every month. I don't go broke with a 60k sale a month to none next month like the YouTube gurus, because I have worked with purpose or private labeling and long-term branding. Dropshipping with a mindset to create a brand and slowly moving into e-commerce with actually owning the inventory is the key. If your friend is selling some very famous brand products with such low margins, it doesn't make dropshipping bad, it is just because he is stupid. Before you start with Chinese products, it's easy to find US supplier. I sell products in the USA and without being in US with no problem. My friends in USA were able to private label their products, but they started with a dropshipping model. Do a bit of research about Blended Jet as well. Thanks. Nothing is easy. The YouTube gurus make it seem easy to sell their courses, but even then it requires capital to start. Not everyone can afford to have that capital. Getting into dropshipping is not the same as getting into network marketing or affiliate marketing. Peace. Apart from everything, I respect your opinion, and it could be that dropshipping worked well for me, and that could be the reason for me being a bit defensive. But it was great knowing your perspective about it. Peace. Yo man, he is dropshipping. He has his own site with other people's products to ship those products that he sells. I think that's the legit definition of dropshipping. If you're private labeling, it's not the same as the classic dropshipping was meant, so we're saying the same thing in two different ways. We basically agree, but you want to call private labeling dropshipping. Owning your inventory means you're not dropshipping. I really hope you're not going to try to sell your services on this forum, because the bullshit alarm we have instilled is really good. All this you've figured ads and e-commerce out, and within 15 posts you're letting us know everyone else is doing it wrong and you're some kind of illuminated genius, while me and you are saying the same thing. I hope I'm wrong, but literally you've been here 10 days. Told us you're making a killing with dropshipping 10 times while providing zero proof or serious advice. So let's start from scratch. Make a thread in the execution section, post about your innovative methods and the results you're getting. No need to tell us the site or products if that bothers you. Looking forward to learning together this e-commerce stuff, and sorry if I come off as rude. Have a nice day. Create an execution thread. Look forward to seeing what you are doing. I am 10 days old here, not 10 days old in dropshipping, bro, and no, I am not going to sell anything in this forum, just here to connect with like-minded people and provide value and learn stuff as well. Anyways, we both are talking about e-commerce but with different perspective and angles. I respect your views. Maybe you can suggest your friend to switch to a different product with a better margin, and it was great connecting with you. No grudges. I am all here to provide value in any way and learn, and for sure I will make a thread about the strategies to use and all my results after this. I appreciate it a lot. Also, he's now working for a very big e-commerce and he landed that job mainly because of his own site. He's getting paid so much it's actually insane. When I read a wall of text like this, I always feel like that person is trying to prove something they are not 100% sure about. That said, if it's working for you, why do you need to prove yourself to other people? I mean, you are making bank, aren't you? Time and time again we see fake-ass people stroll through here. 99% chance he's full of shit, 1% chance he's not. I don't have high hopes for any progress thread or any business insights or value added by the op. Because he doesn't have a business. Hope I'm wrong. Doubt it. Definitely, and that's why I said I respect his opinions and it worked for me, so that was the reason I was being defensive. I am definitely making an execution thread right now. That's great, as the idea of dropshipping is great. I occupied myself with that a time. I did really many requests to potential dropship partners and got some dealerships offered. Procedure is always the same. I look for a price offer, then I Google for the retail price. And guess what? They are nearly identical every time. Only AliExpress offers a much lower price. So doing dropshipping, you have two choices. 1. You wait for the buyers too stupid to Google for a price. 2. You scam your buyers with 4 weeks of delivery from China. Or, you dropship things that are dropshipped since ever. Garages, houses, ships, fabrics and so on. But that's another number, which I don't think you thought about doing dropshipping, but later figured out it wasn't a good idea. Too much people already doing it is a red flag, and you don't seem to have much control over the producing process. What if your customers complain that the product is of extremely poor quality and your manufacturer can't solve the problem? Are you going to China to solve the issue? I heard some guys got this really serious and achieved huge success. Some didn't even had to go to China and just solve things over email and phone, but still, I am very sure it's a lot of hard work, and the initial investment from your side. Opening and setting a Shopify store is more expensive than most people think. But I'm not a pro at this, so you might need to read them again. They get rich quick schemes. LOL, Gymshark is dropshipping based. WTF? They are not private labeling either. They are making their own products. Dropship god. Lol, funny Gymshark started off dropshipping, but where they really took off was when they made their own product. I think they were dropshipping supplements first. People who dropship never tend to speak to their customers or build a relationship with them. It's always tricking people with urgency timer and other apps like this guy just purchased X minutes ago. There is always a dropshipper trying to target a niche, and when I go analyze these community niches, they all consider dropshippers scammers. Like literally every time. Terrible business model. Agree with most others for once. Lol. This guy comes off as a 99.99% scammer. Yeah, I was getting the vibe dropshipping is a get-rich-quick scheme. I saw your other thread. I personally am 50 or 50 with dropshipping. I think it just depends what you sell. Anything from China will be saturated. I dropship soccer goals and I am cheaper than the manufacturer's price to the public, so it works in my advantage. I think it's still very much alive. I did $2,000 in my first month as a newbie, with zero ad spend. I only used traffic from Pinterest. That's not a lot, but we'll see how much I can do in the coming months using Pinterest plus Facebook ads. Just think about it. The main thing dropshippers are doing is trying to make their website legit. Those people feed of the people who don't know much about the web, making products insanely overpriced and hoping that people won't look it up on the AliExpress. I think it's sad when you see people with bracelets that they bought them for $20 from a website while the worth of the same product is $50. I wouldn't mind as the same happens in shops, but at least for those 20 give me a fast delivery. Yeah, Nike shoes definitely not cost $500 to produce. It's all marketing. In my opinion, it is a very short-term based business. Nowadays 1 month for a product to arrive is almost a scam. Also, you are not offering any extra value. You are simply an intermediary. Clients probably won't buy you again after that kind of customer experience, and it's way more expensive to get new clients than selling again to already satisfied ones, so it's kind of maybe useful for testing some products before private labeling them, even though there are other ways. I dropship American products, so it works in my favor. I'd recommend everyone does that. I am using this model to start off, and once the product starts to gain traction, I will immediately move to private labeling. And my Alibaba supplier can get the item to customers in 10 days, which isn't bad as long as they can. I personally ordered something through AliExpress in March and am still waiting. AliExpress is all just middlemen. Things are pricier, take longer to arrive, and not the place to go to source products if you ask me. When dealing with the factory or manufacturer themselves, their reputation is a little more on the line, so usually get things done quicker. Having said that, Alibaba is huge and there are definitely terrible suppliers on there, and sometimes is like trying to find a needle in the haystack. BTW, I purchased a VW van some years ago. As I knew a Volkswagen dealer, I got a short insight in the procedure. Exactly seen it war dropshipping, and the time of delivery was longer than from AliExpress. Low entry barriers. You can set up a store in minutes with Shopify and Oblo. Low control. You just have control over the website and marketing, nor anything else of your operation. Scale is also although in a first glance it seems that a dropshipping store is plenty scalable. You need to think that you do not own full control over your operations. To scale you need much more money for ads, reliable suppliers and returning customers. The customer experience is a problem because usually they won't come back after waiting many weeks for a questionable quality high-priced purchase to arrive. Exception below. Time and needs could be worked on from some research and automation. You could dropship things that are produced inside your country. You will have lesser waiting times and a better relationship with the supplier. But still, the other things about entry and control still applies. What I am used to see is a scheme where marketers create dropshipping stores and right after some profit deactivate them and create another one, in a loop to maybe get some returning customers. A similar but better option would be cross-docking, which is something I have never seen someone talking about here. If someone is interested, I could do a post explaining what it is. Dropshipping is just another business model with its own strengths and weaknesses. The gold rush has passed, but you can still make dropshipping deals privately and locally. Hi, I was reading through this post because this is my exact plan to start. I want to create a dropshipping store to test some products, and when I have a winner, take all the steps to convert it into private label. I think this is a good plan since I don't have any experience in e-commerce, but I'm really curious to ask, what are the other methods that you would suggest to test the products if this is not the best way for you? Well, I can give you some examples. One option is to buy a very small quantity of the product and test it as a private label since the beginning. Some suppliers on Alibaba have a low mock minimum order quantity. They won't put your logo in the product or the packaging, but you can do that when you get them in your house. Go buy some packaging at your city and go to a copy shop or similar places where you can print or stick the logo in the product. Another option, if you don't want to buy a product that you are not sure if you're going to sell, would be to create the shop and create some quality ads for the product. Would be great if you can get a sample of it to do this. And then you can do the same as if you were selling the product, but you can write on the selling page something like, this product is sold out but we will be replenishing soon. Please leave your email address here and we will notify you when it is available. And maybe you can tell them that they also have a discount or something. Then you can have an idea about how many people are interested in the product, plus having some leads before launching. What do you think? You don't have to buy the mock even if it is a small amount. I have taught thousands of new importers how to negotiate a very small order so that they can test the market without a huge outlay. Being a newcomer to product sourcing and importing, you need to learn something about it before you jump in the deep end. First, read post number 5 in my AMA if you have the time. Start reading at post number 1 and keep reading, but here are some hints that might save you from being burnt. If you have any questions, you can post them on that thread if they are not confidential, but if confidential, PM me. I am privy to the secrets of many Fastlane members, so you can be sure anything you tell me goes no further. Walter. Wow. Thanks so much for the insight. I read about the second option but I wondered why MJ said that this approach pushes some ethical boundaries. Anyways, I think that I'm going to start selecting the product and testing it this way.
Hi Walter,
I really appreciate the time that you spent detailing your answer. I'll definitely go through this post. I actually was planning to do so in the future, because I thought I should start with something easier, like just basic dropshipping to gain some experience. But I'll read through this first to decide what would be a better approach. Thanks. Thank you.